Hey y'all, it's your girl Charity B, and welcome to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. This podcast was designed for both men and women who are in the process or wanting to start their self-love journey. Here we discuss many topics related to self-love that promotes healthy habits that will help support your mental and emotional health, boost self-confidence, and self-worth. So get ready. This is something you don't want to miss. If you like what you hear in this episode, feel free to DM me and leave comments on my Instagram page at iam.enoughmsl. The podcast is also available on YouTube. The link will be in my description box as well as on my Instagram page. Hey y'all, it's your girl Charity B, and welcome back to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. If you are new here, welcome. I am glad that you chose to tune in and take a step forward into loving yourself on a deeper level. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. My hope for each of you is that today's episode gives you something meaningful to carry forward, whether it's a reminder to embrace your journey, tools to help you evolve into the best version of yourself, or insight you can apply in your everyday life. Whatever it is that you need, I hope you find it here. Some of us carry survival in our bones. We don't rest, we brace. We don't soften, we shield. Today we're taking off the armor of survival, and we're learning what safe feels like within ourselves, for ourselves. Before we get into today's episode, we're going to just do a little recap of what we discussed last episode. So last episode was rebirth, shedding the old me. And we kind of just touched some points on what the rebirth process looks like and what it means. We also discovered, that this process requires you to be intentional throughout the whole process, because it is a process. It's not something like a jump, hop, and a skip, and then, hey, well, I'm renewed, restored, refreshed, and I'm a different person. It actually takes some time, some energy, some effort, and some intention behind it in order to be successful and see it through. With that being said, we also briefly discussed it requires you to be committed to your journey. It's a commitment to yourself saying, yes, I know that I yearn to evolve into the better version of myself. In order to get there, I have to commit to myself that I'm not going to let anyone or anything stop me from getting there. I'm going to let go of those bad habits one by one and be consistent and patient with myself as I do these things, but I'm going to see it through. Now, that's just a little quick summary of what we talked about last episode. If you missed the last episode, I would recommend going back and listening to that first before you listen to this episode. Matter of fact, if you missed the last two episodes, even if you're new here or if you just fell behind, no worries. Totally understand, totally get it. But go back 2 episodes and catch up so you can understand why we're talking about this topic today. This whole season, this whole year is going to be about rebirth, trying to turn over that new leaf. Or as the year of course goes on, we are definitely turning the pages. We're getting somewhere. By the end of the year, you're going to be a whole totally different person. Okay. So, but go back if you have not. If you are all caught up, here we go. We're going to go ahead and get right to the nitty gritty. So today, we are taking a deeper dive into what happens after survivor mode. Survivor mode is just when your body and your mind don't know that it's time to stand down. It's time to stop fighting. It's time to leave the battle. It's time to put down your sword and your armor. So we can start with, what does survivor mode look like? We're going to discuss what it looks like emotionally and physically. And y'all, as I was jotting down some notes, some topics or little points, a lot of these little, a little bit of these ways that you can determine if you're stuck in survivor mode kind of describe me in my past couple years. And I feel like I am finally, or the last year was the year where I finally rest. I could rest at the end. And we're going to talk about it because I'm going to describe it. I'm going to first describe or explain what it looks like emotionally and physically to be in survival mode. So emotionally, you can have feelings like you always have to be on. You have to be doing something constantly. You don't feel useful if you're not moving around and doing something. You just can't rest. Your mind can't rest. It's always moving, and you physically always moving, always working. You don't know when to stop. It also could be having feelings of anxiety and fear. You could typically be putting everyone else's needs above your own just to keep peace. You could emotionally be shutting down, having feelings of numbness. Your body has no time to react to constant threats or problems, so it becomes normal to you. You're like, things like this always happen, so it doesn't really have an effect to you anymore, which is not a good thing. You probably are avoiding vulnerability or shutting down when things get intense or overwhelming. You could have feelings of being easily irritable. Small frustrations feel like huge ones because your nervous system has to be on alert. Any small inconvenience, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with this. I have to do X, Y, and Z. It just causes you to be frustrated. You don't want to deal with it. You can also have difficulties trusting others, feeling the need to be independent because you feel like if it's done by you, you're the only one that can get it done correctly. If somebody else does it, they're not going to do it correct, which may not be the case, but your mind is telling you that because you're stuck in survival mode. Another way is also constant worrying. You're always constantly worried about the next thing, worried about things you can't handle right now, things you could have handled last year, things you got to handle this year. It's just your mind is always like, we like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. We all over the place. 1, 2, 3, all over the place. Back to the alphabet. Element OP. Like, we just all over the place. That's what it looks like. Physically, it could be exhibited through your body as muscle tension or tightness in your shoulders. You probably grit your teeth in your sleep. You feel tension in your back all the time. It could even be fatigue after rest. You could have had a good 8 hours sleep, but when you wake up, it's like you're still exhausted because your nervous system is still on even after you sleep. It could be increased heart rate, shallow breathing. You can have some digestive issues. Stress hormones are high, which affect your gut health. So when you eat certain foods, you don't understand why. You are exhibiting inflammation in your body or, irritable bowel syndrome. It could be exhibited like that. Whatever you eat, it just goes straight through you. It could be also you having a hard time trying to relax. Even when you're trying to go to bed, you probably got to take a melatonin or some sleep medication to help you actually go to sleep, because when you lay down, your body just always alert. You can't relax. Even when it comes to you just sitting on home at the couch, it's like you always got to do something. It's just the constant feeling or the need to move around or do something. You can also have startle responses. That could be also physical sign that your nervous system is trying to adjust. You react strongly to small noises, become a little bit paranoid. So those are just briefly some options or some ways of what survival mode looks like. Now, I may not exhibit all of these, but I do exhibit a lot of them. And I'm gonna tell you from my personal experience. So I went from being a caregiver to my mom when she was sick. I think that was about a good year. She had a heart attack in November 2023. In December 2023, she ended up being in hospital for a couple months till like February. I was there every day, clockwork. Like, that was my job. I was clocking in and clocking out at the hospital. I was there every day. There was not a day I wasn't there. I think I didn't go for my birthday because I just wanted to rest. My mother told me to stay home. But she was also, when people are sick, they're needy. So, which was okay. I was there all day. She came out the hospital. I took care of her by myself. And that was every day, all day. So I went to from being a full-time caregiver to experiencing some other traumatic stuff to losing someone else that was special or in the family, that was close, and I can say was another part of my mother. And then went to 6 months later in 2025 losing somebody else in the middle of the year that was also within that family. So I really didn't have any time to gather myself. It was more so like, okay, next. I don't think I started properly grieving my mother until last year. Maybe I'm trying to think. It was late last year, maybe right before the year ended. October of 2025. I didn't properly start grieving my mother, and I feel like I had to go a couple steps back in my grieving process, because I started to grieve her when I started going to grief counseling and I started going to therapy, but I was just getting to a place where, okay, Charity, you gotta rest. You're leaving survivor mode. Your body is finally putting the sword down, and you're like not losing it, but your mind, your emotions, you do not know how to process them because you're coming out of that high alert moment or phase. So I had a very hard time, and I started having a hard time. I started realizing I started having a hard time maybe mid-July. I went to Costa Rica last year to visit my brother. He lives out there. And I couldn't emotionally feel happiness, like genuine happiness. I was just numb to a lot of stuff, and I kind of like shut down. I guess because I was experiencing death back to back, I started getting used to that. So I was having an emotional shutdown. I'm just like, okay, I guess this is what my kind of like what happens. And then my anxiety was not as high. I started having anxiety at first when my mother passed, like for a good 2 months. Anything of me having to get dressed and get ready to go anywhere. It could be out with my friends. It could be out on a date for myself. If I knew I had to get ready, I just felt like I was on a schedule. My anxiety would just flare up. So as time went on, though, I had to like tell myself, okay, when I felt that, I had to sit down and be like, let's sit down, take a beat, calm down. You're literally just going out. You're not on a time schedule. And then that's when my body kind of started relaxing in that department. But I was always on high alert for a long time, and I still feel like I have little moments where I am on high alert still. So I'm trying to get that in place. But when I was in Costa Rica, because I was there for a week, I was like, this is new experiences. I should be happy, but I'm not. And it was because I hadn't grieved my mother. I missed her. Of course, that's my mama. Like, I missed her so much. Out of everything that I had experienced, the one thing that really, 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 really got to me was my mother. Losing my mother. It was me and my mom for 20 years. My dad died when I was 8. So it was her and me for 20 years by my side, stuck at my hip. When you see my mom, you see me. So it was a lot, because I kind of got forced to being in a space of being alone, which I've never had a problem with, but this type of being alone did get to me often, because it's okay to choose to be alone and be in your own bubble and need to hide away, tuck away. But when you physically have to be alone, but not by choice, where you can't even call the same person anymore, and just on all ranges, besides like my mom, my grandmama, even the person that betrayed me, like having to not be able to have those same not rescue, but emergency contacts. It hit hard, but I never really had a chance to really just gather that and piece it together and figure out my emotions on how that made me feel. I just was like, okay, I have no time to get it together. I'm gonna have to keep going. I have no choice to keep going. Bills gotta get paid. I gotta live. I have to get things together. I have to situate my mother's affairs. I have a lot of things on my plate. To be so young, I had so much on my plate. So it was not until I got back home after the trip and I finally was like, you know what? I'm not happy. I'm trying to hang on by a thread by keep telling myself every day my self affirmations that I have. I have a whole paper. I look in the mirror every day and I say them and say them at least twice until I actually feel like I believe it. And then I just got to a point where I am so tired of pouring back into myself. I'm tired. I am physically and mentally exhausted. I have nothing else to give. I poured out so much and to people, and like I couldn't understand why me, why me. So it got to a point where I didn't want to wake up and pour back in myself. I didn't want to talk to me. I didn't want to do none of that. I didn't want to look in the mirror. I don't want to do none of that. I just want to lay here and just be. I needed to rest, but I wasn't resting. I had to get back up, go to work, go to a job that drains me even more. And whatever I would put back into myself when I wake up, do my self affirmations, when I journal, it was giving to that job, because my job consists of me helping other people, older people. So I have to have that sympathy, that empathy. I have to give whatever I had put in for myself back to someone else. And I finally got to the point of, we were in our annual enrollment period. I started off strong first week. Mind you, this is a 2-month thing. After week 1, they weren't getting much out of me. They got one sale a day. And this is probably the busiest time of the year. But I was emotionally and physically tapped out. People at work were able to tell that something was wrong with me. Like, I really had nothing else to give. It was giving really melancholy. It was just, yeah, sure, why not? I guess. Like, I just didn't have anything to give, and I was forced. I said, I can't keep going like this. I said, if I keep going like this, I won't be going to work. I won't have a job. Probably won't have a place to live. It probably just me, my dog, and my cars. Like, I don't know, and put myself in storage. Like, I didn't really care anymore. And I was like, I can't, is this going to be a nervous breakdown? I was like, yeah, I don't have nobody to depend on me, but my dog is older now. Me and my mom shared that dog for years. I think we got that when I was got Wesley when I was a sophomore in high school, and he been with us ever since. So I have to fight for my dog. That's another piece that I had with my mom. And then I love my dog. My dog loved me. So it's just like, yeah, I don't have nobody to depend on me, but he depends on me. So he still got to eat. He can't get a job. That's like a toddler who's stuck in his toddler years for the rest of his life. So I was just like, I have to go on leave. So my best friend was telling me, she was like, if you need to go, I think you need to go. And she was trying to tell me how to do it through my job, because she previously used to work there. But she told me how to do it, and I was like, I gotta get started. It was a whole process, because I had to find someone to actually do it, because nowadays it's so hard to get paperwork signed. I don't know why, but a lot of people don't do it. And I guess it's through, I'm not going to say the company's name, but we have a platform where we go and see through our jobs to get it at a discounted price. But a lot of providers do not do the leave through that company because it's so much issues. So I had to go all around in a circle trying to figure that out for a good month. And then I had finally went on leave December 15th, and I was gone for like 4 weeks. Although it was still tedious, because the platform that I used to get my paperwork signed and everything, I didn't get my stuff approved until the day before I was actually supposed to return back to work. But it was okay because, of course, I still believe I should have extended it. I'm in a better place now, but I still think I should have extended it just to give me a little bit more time to get my mind, to pour back to myself how I wanted to. I didn't really get to do as much, but I must say the rest that I got was magnificent. It was beautiful, and I needed it. I needed it so much. I needed it so much, y'all. I can't even explain how much I needed it. Just the rest alone got me back to a place where I was content. I was able to get to a place where I'm saying, I can figure things out. I can align it. Because I was in a space of just airy and cloudy. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life anymore. It wasn't suicidal or anything. I just didn't know what was my next steps. I didn't know what I always wanted to be a nurse. I have this phobia of hospitals now, or triggers, whatever you want to call it. So I'm like, I can't even do that. I have what I need to go back to school for it. I can't fathom it right now. So I'm in a space of trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, what I want to do with my career. I'm almost 30. So it just was a place of confusion, airy, kind of like, I wouldn't say lost, just off balance. And when I went on that 4-week leave, I was able to be like, I can do this X, Y, and Z. This is my next step. Now I can pour back into myself and don't have to give it to no funky job. I can actually breathe and think about me for a change. I was able to get something situated to go into the next step. I didn't get to complete everything I wanted to do because time was also moving. When you off work, time goes quick. But when you at work, when you clocked in, it don't want to go nowhere. You thinking it's 30 minutes and passed and only 1 minute has passed. So, but anyways, the rest that I got, the mental stability I was able to get, the emotional stability I was able to get in that 4 weeks was definitely worth it. I was able to understand what happens after my survival mode. Now I'm still in a work in progress because I feel like my body still is trying to get out the understand after this survival mode. It's kind of like I forced myself to rest and forced myself to focus on me for a change. Because if I kept going like that and being in survivor mode as high alert as I was, I wouldn't be good for nobody. Like, I'm still trying to get back to a place where I feel like myself again, because I used to love going to the gym. I used to love doing certain things, but I just don't have the for it. And so that's where I'm trying to get out that depression funk. So I definitely am better, because I used to wake up a couple months ago and me hearing my alarm would put me in a deep depression state. Like, it was that bad. Like, I knew I needed to take a break, and I still think I shouldn't even be here at this job, but I'm here. So thank God for the job, but Lord, I'm definitely looking for my next step in life. But I just want to explain how intense it can get. I'm pretty sure you can get more intense with that if you don't really know what to do. I've definitely experienced emotional shutdown. I am very easily irritable even to this day. For any kind of small inconvenience throw me off. I don't have no really issues, difficulties trusting other people. I just don't think I have the bandwidth to deal with anybody right now, because I don't care what you're going through. I don't even know what I'm going through. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going through. So why would I even put myself in a position to have to give to somebody else in any aspect? I still hang around with my friends and stuff, but I am not emotional dumpster anymore. I don't care but I don't need it. I don't figure it out. I had to figure my stuff out. So you do the same. That's kind of where I'm at mentally. But I do experience feelings of numbness, emotional shutdown, being irritable. I don't really worry like that. I've come to a point where God got it. I just keep putting it in God's hands. I might think about it every now and then, but I can't. It's cost too much for me to worry about it. It just puts too much stress on me. And I have PCOS. polycystic ovarian syndrome. So any amount of stress on me is not good. I gain weight sitting in stress. So it's like, I can't change it right now. So why we worrying? It's just like, okay, let's put it on the list and put it in the back of my mind and it'll come back. Of course, my body still naturally just stresses over it because it kind of knows. But I really try to like just push it out and try to like think of something else to help me. Muscle tension, yes, I do experience muscle tension in my shoulders, and the way I try to counteract that is once a month I go get a massage. That's my thing. That's how I treat myself, and I get all those knots out, and then hey, we'll do it again next month if I feel the same way. I was fatigued after rest. Like I could get a whole 8-hour sleep, 10-hour sleep, and I'll still be tired, feeling restless. It felt like my mind wasn't shutting off. Still to this day, I feel like my mind isn't shutting off, but it's not as worse as it used to be or how bad it used to be. I don't notice increased heart rate or shallow breathing. I don't experience that. I have digestive issues anyways. I have PCOS. So I'm not easily startled. Maybe I'm not really in tune or mindful of that. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna do my best to. I have issues with relaxing. Maybe not all the way, but I definitely will sit on the couch and relax or go to my little happy space in my bed and try to relax. But if you have a problem with that, ashwagandha, oh my, love me some Asha do the thing. I'm telling you, couple drops, because I got mine from HEB. If y'all have an HEB, couple drops in there, man, I feel like a quick. I can feel my nervous system relaxing. My dietitian said you probably won't feel it, but me personally, I feel it. I put it in my water. I drink my water, and I kind of feel my nervous system relaxing. So if you have a problem relaxing or you stress a lot, ashwagandha gonna get you right. But yes, I just wanted to explain like what, or give you like some personal experience of that. Anyways, I'm a work in progress. Nothing too big that God can't fix. So there's that. But this episode, of course, I said a lot of these episodes is for both of us, me and you. I know life can really put a damper on things, including your nervous system. So that's kind of why we're talking about this. But I just said all that to say, or really to let you know that survival mode kind of shows up in ways we often don't even notice. Our bodies are trained to stay alert. It's not at ease. It's just tense, tight neck. It's just like you just, tense. Why does the body hold on to survival after the danger is gone? I know that's a constant thought, because that was also a constant thought, like it happened. But I also been reading this book that my therapist told me about. I haven't finished it, almost done, but highly recommend it. So the name of the book is The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel van der Kolk. So Kolk is his last name. You can find this book on Amazon. I thought it was a very good book, and I learned a lot. I knew like basics, like how the nervous system remembers the body, but it kind of like talks about different stories of people who experienced painful and traumatic events and what their life looked like during the aftermath. So their survival mode, when they were in survival mode. So it has some stories in there about veterans, their families. Then it also talks about some people who were either victims of molestation, victims of violence, physical violence, those who lived with people who were alcoholics or drug addicts, and how that trauma affected their life even decades after it has happened. And he kind of just talks about how the body basically keeps the score. It keeps the score of everything that you've been through that was traumatic. If you don't engage in new habits that reshape how your brain and body compensates for that, that suffering. And it kind of just gives you innovative treatments and new defense mechanisms or habits that you can use to like help your body, balance back out and let it know like it's okay to put the sword down. It's okay to relax now. So it's a good book if you're someone who is trying to explore your healing journey and try to heal from all the trauma, physical, mental, emotional trauma that you've have faced in your life. So I definitely would say look into that book. So we're just going to briefly cover why the body holds on to survival after the danger is gone. Well, for one, as just previously stated, our nervous system is designed to keep us alive when danger is present. If you've heard of the fight or flight response, this is an automatic and survival-driven reaction to threats. So it prepares you for two things, either to confront the issue or the danger, which is your fight response, or escape, your flight response. So it floods your system with adrenaline and cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and that hormone can linger in the body for a very long time. So this could be also a reason why your body is like on guard, because your stress hormone is pretty high, or it's still lingering in the body. Also, the body remembers patterns of threats even after the threat has gone. It uses your whole 5 senses, of course. So like your hearing, what did you hear? What noises did you hear during that traumatic event? What did you see? It could be a restaurant you were in front of when it happened, or a building you were in front of. Passing by that building could trigger you. It could be smell, scents that you remember from that time. The feeling, the touch, your emotions, all of that, it all plays a role into what your body remembers. And the brain may not perceive that you truly are safe yet. Even if everything looks fine from your sight, you can actually see that you're safe, but your body still is like, I don't know that, girl. Just because you see it don't mean that I know it. The hormone's still high. It's still lingering. I'm trying to see what's going on. So the body can probably really not perceive, or the brain really cannot perceive yet, that everything is just fine. Those past experiences can just train the body to stay alert. So it's our job, in order to, do things the healthy way, to give our body cues that it needs to feel safe again, in order to counteract whatever trauma was left behind from that experience that you had. For an example, let's just use this as an example, and then we're going to put it in a real life scenario. We have a fire alarm system in your house, right? It's supposed to go off when it detects smoke, right? It's supposed to keep you safe. So if there is a fire in your house, you can evacuate and get to a safe location. So my smoke alarm or my fire alarm system, whatever, is very sensitive. Any hint of smoke detected, it's going off. So usually, I'm cooking in my living room, I'm cooking in my house, and I sometimes forget to turn on the air vent. And I could be throwing down in there. Any detection of steam or smoke, if I don't turn on my air vent, my smoke alarm or smoke detector goes off. And it's loud. It's just going off. It's doing its thing. It's doing everything loud. So, okay, I immediately turn my vent on. That alerts me to turn my vent on. But mind you, it's still going on back there, even though I turned my vent on to get rid of the smoke. So what I have to do, I have to take my kitchen towel and go in front of the smoke detector, fan my towel to alert, hey, there's no more smoke here. Turn off now. And then it proceeds to turn off. So let's put this in a real life scenario. We are the smoke detectors. Say, for instance, you're just out and about casual and you're about to be robbed. You see it coming. So all of a sudden, your fight or flight response goes off. Automatic thing goes off. So we're the smoke detector. Noise is going off. We like, okay, we either gonna fight or we gonna escape. So in this situation, the robber is coming towards you. That's the smoke. All the negative feelings are coming towards you. You managed to escape. Even though you managed to escape, you're in a safe location now. You still feel on edge and you just anxious. You scared. You just like, oh my gosh, I can't relax in this moment, of course. So your fire alarm, your smoke detector, you're still going off. You're still going off. In order for you to not be so high alert, you're going to give your body cues to let you know that you're safe again. Okay, I'm going to talk to myself. I'm going to show myself some grace here and mindfulness. Look where we are. We're surrounded by, I guess, police. Maybe some people that's not a safe position. But anyways, side note, you're around police telling them what happened. You're no longer in danger. You're telling yourself, okay, well, I'm sitting in the police department and they're going to help me. I no longer feel like I am in intimate danger anymore. That's you taking the towel, fanning it in front of your smoke detector. You can now relax. You can now rest. You can finally breathe. That's the same thing with the other traumas in your life. Maybe deeper than that, but that's what it looks like. Okay. So our body needs those cues so that we can feel safe again. In real life, what those cues could be is giving ourselves some rest, setting boundaries with family, friends, significant others, children. I don't care. Setting boundaries with people, showing yourself some self-compassion or showing yourself some grace, having some mindfulness and noticing how you feel in certain situations. How do certain things trigger you? Taking note of that. Those are giving your body cues so that you can let your body know, like, we are safe now. Okay? It's okay to put your guard down right now. We are relaxing. We're safe within ourselves. I said all of that to say it is important to your rebirth process that you practice internal safety and soft living. It actually promotes true healing and transformation. Why? Because it calms your nervous system, for one, as I briefly explained, and how from my actual personal experience, when you stuck in survival mode, like when you feel that tension, that anxiety, that's your body holding on to survival. And sometimes like I said, most times we don't know. I didn't know for sure because so much stuff was happening. You can't really take the time to comprehend what's really going on. You just know I just got to get through. But you're surviving. You're trying to get away from imminent danger. It also allows you to rebuild self-trust and create a secure foundation within. It's better to work within out. You're getting all of the out within. You're starting there first. That's the hard part. And then going out to the easy part, the surface level. It also allows you to move from trauma-induced survival towards growth. You're able to be vulnerable and authentic with your self-expression rather than feeling like you're stuck in fear or those rigid defenses that don't promote any type of improvement or transformation. You're trying to drop the dead weight. So doing this and having these practices or doing these practices promotes growth in yourself or progress in yourself in your rebirth process. So what does soft living really mean? Soft living does not mean laziness. It's an act of self-respect. You are giving yourself permission to feel safe, at ease, relaxed. You're giving yourself permission to slow down the demands of the world and just saying, that's tomorrow's business or whenever's business, whatever due date you want to give it. You're saying no when you need it, when you need rest. You're being you're able to show up for yourself with softness and grace rather than punishment or with a misunderstanding or talking down on yourself, thinking that would help you be better or do better. It allows you to feel safe within yourself. You're able to let go of those survival mode habits that no longer serve you, and you have emotional freedom. You're nourishing your mind, your body, and your spirit. This is a total act of self-love. It's a bold statement of choosing you verbally and non-verbally through your actions. You're regulating your nervous system. You're receiving help when you need it, dropping the prideful characteristic traits you probably have. I'm a victim of this as well, but you're allowing yourself to feel safe. You're, like I said, you just giving the total act of self-love. You're exhibiting that. That's what soft living really means. So while we're here in this episode, we are going to address the internal conflict right here, right now. So we're addressing resistance and guilt. There's no need to have feelings of undeserving or of ease or peace. So let's go ahead and drop that right now. Everybody deserves a little peace of mind. We're going to unlearn that life is a struggle. Yes, there are ups and downs, but we're going to unlearn that we have to always go through struggles in order to get to the bright side of things. We have to focus on the ups more than we focus on the downs. If we stay so focused on what's going down, where else are we going to go? We have to say, yeah, things may go down, but they always come up. Let go of that mindset that, everything will fall apart if I don't do it. I don't need a rest right now, or I don't need my peace right now. I can get it a little bit later. The more you push it out, that's going to go back your head because you're so caught up in what needs to be done. That is your survival talking. Child, I promise you, if it's not an emergency, it will be there when you get back. Go take a nap. Go treat yourself. That job is going to be there. If something happened to you today, I promise you, they will replace you by the end of the week. The application will be on their website looking for someone to take your place. The job will be there. Don't overwork yourself. There's not enough money in the world that a job can pay you. I don't care. It could be 6 figures. That's a lot of money. But I don't have no time to focus on me and my life and still be balanced. Well, I don't need to be here. I care about my peace too much. I'm not finna overwork myself. It's just not gonna work. I'm not gonna be good for you or me. I'm not gonna live a happy life. Also, those kids, they'll be there. Send them away. Send them to their grandma's house. Or tell your husband or your spouse or your wife that they need to take over for a little minute. You need to go lay down. You've been up all day. You've been working all day. They probably have 2, but that's why it takes 2 to tangle. You ain't lay down by yourself and have them kids. So come get your children. Even if y'all not together, come get your child. If y'all in the same house, watch your child. I need to take a break for a second. I need a minute. If you consider me and you love me, you care about my peace, you will do this for me. Because what's the use of living with somebody or living with your partner so y'all can have this quote unquote family, but you the only one doing most of the work? Why are you here? That's like taking care of another kid or another body in the house that don't really need to be there if they're not providing any help, including family. And if not, they don't want to help, then you keep telling them no. Go find somewhere else to live if you can't help me. It takes it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. We will no longer be overgiving energy, time, effort, space, comfort. I'm putting my comfortability at risk to help you out, but you can't help me? Nah. No. Go away. No. No more will we be accepting that. We also have to nip in the bud the fear of losing control. That's survivor talking. Ask yourself right now, in this moment, what is the worst thing that can happen? It's normal to feel anxiety when you decide to slow down and your body wants to keep going. It's normal because you're like, I'm so used to that. It's like a schedule or routine that your body is used to. So it's normal to feel anxious. That doesn't mean you need to get back to work. It just means continue to give yourself time to rest. And eventually you're creating a new routine that your body can now remember and say, okay, again, this is a cue. We are safe. We are okay. Remember, survival mode reinforces guilt. It reinforces anxiety. Internalized survival is just a script to your brain, confusing inactivity with danger, and that is not the case. So you may feel guilty, you may feel anxious that you're taking a break. Like I said, just keep doing it. Take a little bit of time out your day and rest, or set those boundaries, or give yourself grace. Whatever you need in that moment to let your body know that you feel safe, do it. Every little bit, every couple minutes a day, every or hour out of your day, take it and do something that signals your body that you're okay. Eventually, routine is formed and the body feels more at ease and able to calm down day by day that you do this. Yes, these feelings of guilt and anxiety are normal, but they don't have to continue to be normal. We are making a conscious decision through this rebirth process to change our perspective, change the way we are used to doing things. The rebirth process involves you retraining your nervous system. That's all it's about. To accept ease and reclaim that energy without shame. Right there, we're already hitting 2 out of the 3 pillars. We're healing and we're reclaiming what is ours. Claiming our energy without shame. We're allowing our nervous system to calm down so that we can heal it. Our takeaway lesson for this episode is feeling safe is a practice. It's something that we have to continue to do so that we can remind our nervous system it's okay to be calm, so that we can leave survivor mode and enter our soft life. We can do things like checking in with our body daily, practice mindfulness. One thing you can do is, write down 3 things that you've done for yourself today without guilt. Notice how it feels to acknowledge your own care as being valid. You can choose to rest without justification. That's what we're going to do moving forward. If we need a nap, we're going to take a nap. If we need a day off from work, we're going to take a day off. If there's nothing that can't be held off for today, it can be done tomorrow. It could be tomorrow's problem. Then we're going to do that. If you need to really take a break, sometimes you can't give nothing else to them. You just need a break, and that's okay. We're human. We can also do small acts of softness throughout the week. That, like I said, taking a nap, taking yourself out to a movie, a meal, candle making class, going for a swim, anything that you like to do that exhibits that softness that you are wanting in your new self. I also want you to do a little bit of reflection, either journal this or even just something to think about. Go in your safe place, wherever it's at, in the home, in your closet, at the park, somewhere where you could just really do some thinking and just reflect without distractions. But there are a couple of questions that I want you to think about. First one is, where in my life am I telling myself I don't deserve to breathe, to pause, or just to be? Where am I still operating in survivor mode? What does safety feel like in my body? And what would soft living look like for me right now? Those are some things I want you to consider in the next few weeks as you prepare for the next episode. Okay? As we close this episode, together we're going to say our mantra. If you don't remember it, or if you're new here, it's okay. I'm going to say it and you can repeat after me. Before we do that, we're going to take a couple deep breaths. So I want you to inhale and exhale. And repeat. We're going to inhale all the good. Exhale all the bad. Okay. So repeat after me. I honor what ended. I protect what's healing. I reclaim what's mine. Good job. Next episode, we will talk about grieving what you never got. Spicy. Mourning unmet needs, lost time, and imagined futures. Another episode you definitely don't want to miss. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications on YouTube. You can follow my YouTube page at I Am Enough Pod, so you'll never miss an episode. If this message resonated with you, please share with someone who may need to hear it. You can also follow me on Instagram at iam.enoughmsl. And if you're locked in this season, feel free to share a photo of you journaling, your reflections, or this season's mantra on Instagram. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.